What's up, everybody? This is Dominic DeAngelo of Studio One Sports, and this is the very first interview I get to do for Studio One Sports. What a no better guest to have than Mr. Vince Russo, who made his return to pro wrestling world on the streaming aspect of it all in JCW Lunacy. Vince, thanks for joining me, man. I really appreciate you doing this.
Oh, man, I'm happy to be here, Dom. Happy to be here.
Well, so the episode just aired. Only 3 days ago, and I happened to notice some of the numbers on it, and it's already like equal the amount that some of the previous episodes of JCW Lunacy already did, and it's only been out for 3 days. What did you think of being in that aspect? It took place in Denver that evening and everything. How did that whole experience go for you?
Man, bro, that was my first night working with them in Denver. And I have to tell you, Dom, if I'm going to be totally truthful with you here, based on experiences I had in wrestling, especially like later on in my career and whatnot, I walked into that building absolutely prepared for the worst. I mean, there's no question about it. I was absolutely prepared for the worst. And by the time I left that night, it was the complete opposite. It was the best experience I could have ever asked for. Everybody was great to me. I was drawn to the talent. I think the talent was drawn to me. And it was an absolute phenomenal experience. I had to go back to Denver the next day. And quite frankly, man, I could not wait to go back. Yeah. And I mean, that coming from me, if anybody knows me, like that is a shocker because, I left TNA in 2012 and anything like I've ever done concerning wrestling, first of all, it's been few and far between. And second of all, if I did it, I only did it for the money. My heart wasn't in it and I couldn't wait for it to be over. But man, this was a great experience.
So would you say it pretty much revitalized a lot of your passion and what you originally had for like the writing component and coming up with creative aspects when it comes to the pro wrestling realm, almost kind of in the Attitude Era realm when you were like right in the prime of it all? Did it kind of revitalize that for you?
Absolutely, 1000%. And listen, man, this is the bottom line with every single wrestling company. It starts at the top. Period. End of story. That's where it starts and that's where it ends. And that was the difference here. I mean, the difference here was really Violent J. My God, bro, he's been running this company now for 26 years. And the respect he has of the boys and the locker room, not afraid to make decisions, not afraid to be the boss when he has to be the boss. And on top of that, I mean, I would consider this guy a creative genius. And I think that's why the experience was so rewarding, bro, because if you walk into a locker room that is the drizzling shits, it's because of who's on top. It's really, really that simple.
No, and to your point, like even just watching that episode of Lunacy, like there's a presence about Violent J that I think goes a little understated. He's got good camera presence, obviously, but to your point, he is so creative. You think about how he did for his record label, doing this all independently and just making this hustle work. And sure, he's created his own niche of like the juggalos and all that stuff, but it's extremely impressive what he was just able to do on his own, let alone.
Well, I'll tell you what was the most impressive thing to me because I got to spend 4 straight days with him. Bro, if you're a creative guy, you're usually not a detail guy. Because if you're a creative guy, bro, you're thinking outside of the box. You're thinking big. And that's why me and Ed Ferrara worked so well, because Ed was really the detail guy. He was a creative guy, don't get me wrong, but Ed was really a detail guy. Bro, Jay had the combination of both. And that really, really blew me away because that is very, very rare and you seldom see that. And I got to tell you, man, to me, that's genius level. When you can be a creative genius thinking outside of the box, but at the same time, be aware of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, that to me is creative genius.
100%. And yeah, to think what he's been able to kind of cultivate a really unique identity for JCW Lunacy and the look and aesthetic of it all. It's something that's outside of the box. But if you watch the program, it definitely harkens back to like what really got engaged me as a fan, being in the younger days of like the Attitude Era and stuff, and seeing like, oh, these different segments and different characters coming into play. Who's this and who's this going on? I thought it was really well balanced, and it speaks to what he said. Something I wanted to bring up that you mentioned on Ariel Helwani, and I know you mentioned this previously too, and I thought it was, people might think it be like a little note, but I thought it was made a lot of sense. You happen to mention like the writing room and how a lot of in WWE you see nowadays, or at probably any corporate aspect of things, people wearing shirt and ties and everything like that. You were talking about how you dress casual. There would be a much more relaxed environment. And I'm even thinking that, like, when I was setting up this interview, I'm thinking like, you know what? I bet like writers in the Simpsons rooms were just the same way. You know, it's just laid back, and that cultivates a lot more creativity for people when you're not like all tightened up and tensed up and you're sitting around.
You need to tell me you don't think Parker and Stone are writing South Park in a conference room wearing suits and ties, bro. That's what makes me laugh, because here's what I get all the time.
Yeah,
I'm one of the very, very, very few who's 1,000% honest about the WWE product. And here's why I'm honest, bro. Because first of all, I'm not looking for a job. I don't want a job there. So I'm not walking any tightrope whatsoever. If it sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks. I don't want a job. I'm not looking to be employed. But then here's what I always get. Oh, I'm bitter because they don't call me for a job. Bro, when I watch Unreal, and I see that conference room, bro, I swear to God, I would be barfing on the table. Bro, I would last. Bro, I swear to you, if all of a sudden Hunter decided to hire me and I had to report for work at 9:00, bro, before we went to lunch, it would be over. You know what, bro? I would probably say, listen, I'm going to take a lunch and never come back. That's what I would probably do. That's why it's working out with JCW. Jay is a creative guy. He understands creativity. It's a creative environment. When I look at that WWE boardroom and Triple H sitting there scratching it, oh my God, bro, how does anybody write under those conditions, man?
I would just think it's just like walking on eggshells a lot of the ways. I mean, like, you know, when it comes to that kind of thing. And that really does. I mean, I consider myself pretty creative, and like, I know I'd be very limited in how I would try to, you know, I couldn't take it. I can't take this.
No, bro. If you're a creative guy and you just can't be you, it's never, ever, ever going to work out. And bro, that's a lot of times, you know, that's the reason why I walked away from jobs in wrestling. You know, when all of a sudden, you know, that was the beauty of Vince McMahon. You know, Vince let me do whatever I wanted to do. Why? Because he was getting results. That's all Vince cared about. Now, if we weren't getting results, maybe it would have been a different story. But as those numbers continue to grow every week, he left me alone. And then, bro, all of a sudden, I go to WWE, WCW, and I have to try to convince people of what we need to do. That got real old with me. And then, bro, that happened in my later years at TNA. And I'm sitting there saying, I know what we need to do, and I'm not going to freaking spend hours and hours and hours and hours trying to convince you of that. And that's why I wound up walking away.
Yeah, it does. It really can disenchant you and like kind of just burn you out in so many ways.
Absolutely, it definitely burns you out, bro, because you want to be creative. You want to, you know, write the best show you possibly can. And then all of a sudden you're spending hours and hours having conversations, trying to convince people this is what we need to do. and they don't have a freaking clue. And it just gets to the point like, bro, this sucks. I'm leaving. I'm going home.
It's like it's seriously like working in a corporate structure where you have these suits and these managers who haven't actually done the legwork of doing this stuff. And they're just been appointed there. And some people just don't have a clue of how things operate.
Exactly. 1000%.
Right. Well, where do you want to ultimately see like JCW be in something like a 5-year plan almost? Is there something that you kind of envision for the future of the promotion?
Bro, I just want people to watch it, man. I just want people to watch it. That's all I really want, because listen, bro, I'm not going to sit here and tell you AEW sucks, because I watched the first 15 months of AEW, every single Dynamite.
Yeah.
And after those 15 months, I basically made the decision, this is not worth my time. So I literally have not watched an AEW show in 5 years. So it's hard for me to critique that show. I don't watch it.
Right.
WWE, on the other hand, I was getting paid to review SmackDown and Raw. Bro, the show sucks. I'm telling you that as a writer. There are no stories. There are no characters. There are long-ass matches with no stakes. It sucks. If you want that Attitude Era flavor where every character, has a character, every character is involved in the story, there's a level of reality. We deal with what's really going on in the world. All I want them to do, bro, is try out, JCW. Obviously, bro, what my goal always is, wherever I'm writing, is to just get as many people as possible to watch the show.
And I will say, too, to tune into that episode, like there's variety there. Like when it comes to, you obviously got your matches, but you have the backstage segments. But on top of that, too, you have vignettes of people like Kerry Morton. He had a huge video package on there. And I was like, man, this is cool stuff that really should be utilized in today's mainstream wrestling product.
And bro, I got to tell you, the episode that aired, the last episode that aired on Thursday, bro, that was literally the 4th episode I wrote.
Wow.
We have 6 more episodes in the can. And bro, I'm telling you, it really took me. The last show we did November 22nd, that would have been the 10th show I wrote. Wow. It really took me that long. So 2.5 months. It really took me that long to just get the pieces into place. Bro, you just can't come in and blow it up, because none of it'll make any sense. You got to kind of come in and start, tearing down the old foundation and building a new one. And like I said, bro, by the time we hit the 10th show, we were 100% there. And my main concern with the first 10 was, bro, I just want to keep the people there. I want to keep the people there, because once everything is in place, this show is going to cook. And man, bro, it looks like that last episode that came out on Thursday, I mean, bro, it's nearing 40,000.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's pretty safe to say it's the highest viewed episode ever of Lunacy. And I'm watching this and I'm like, bro, this is nothing. Like what we've done on that episode is absolutely nothing. Once I can get in there and every character has a story and every match means something, my God, bro, I just think it's really going to blow people away.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see it and see how it develops and what the different kind of spin it can potentially be with it all. It's going to be pretty cool. This question kind of relates to that too. WWE is pretty critical for like being booked not just by committee but also by like the corporate oversight. What we were talking about, like Nick Khan, The Rock in certain ways, and the board. While AEW seemingly just has Tony Khan, who has people around him, but like doesn't really have authority. There's like smart minds around Tony Khan, but he doesn't utilize him, it seems. What do you think is like the most ideal booking structure?
Well, bro, that's the thing. And I mentioned this on Ariel Helwani. Triple H and Tony Khan are booking a show that they like. Who gives a shit what you like, bro? It's not about what you like. It's about what the masses like. You're writing for the masses. I've never written a show for Vince Russo. I've always gone by the numbers because the people watching the show are going to tell you what's working and what's not working. And therefore, it's very important, bro, to have something for everybody. And Triple H and Tony Khan, love wrestling. And that's the type of shows that they're writing. And that's why, bro, they've managed to whittle it down to a niche audience. Only a niche audience likes 20-minute matches, bro. I could tell you that right now. It's only a niche audience. The casuals have left by the millions. And those are the people I'm hoping will check out JCW so they can get that wrestling back that they really enjoyed.
Well, yeah, it's a very, like I just said too, the episode I just watched was like a really good balance of everything. The matches weren't long, but they kept you engaged enough. And then you would get story and developments afterwards, and intriguing arc that goes throughout the whole story. Hey, who's this investor? What's the deal with that? Here's a interesting question too. Should fans care about like advertisements in the ring or around it? Because I know that was a big no-no for Vince in the day, and now Triple H has kind of implemented it. Where do you kind of fall on that?
Yeah, I don't think so, bro. Like, it's business. I mean, at the end of the day, it's business, and you got to generate dollars and money. So Vince would have never done that. No, but that doesn't really bother me. The logo is in the ring and on the tables and on the, bro, it's a business, and everybody is in business to make money, man. So that doesn't really bother me.
I'm in the same boat, and I think too it kind of adds to the sports-like feel of wrestling. Like you see a boxing ring, geez, there's advertisements all over the place. We'll go to an NFL game, advertisements all over the stadium.
Right.
It's just part of its nature. I think. How long is like the ideal episode of TV? Do you think for wrestling? Would it be different from a pay-per-view as well? What would be your ideal like set of time for a television show and then for a pay-per-view?
God, bro, we're probably doing an hour and a half on Lunacy. That's what we're probably are doing. Bro, I like an hour. I mean, I just really like an hour because you can really keep things flowing and really keep things moving. And I would say for a pay-per-view, I mean, 2 hours and 45 minutes max.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it always was back in the day. We'd start at 11. We start at 8. You got to be done by 11. It was always that way. I'm hearing these AEW shows are like 6 hours, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine sitting in a seat watching 6 hours of anything. Bro, I'll go to a concert and I'll see my favorite artist. And bro, once we're like 2 hours in, like I'm telling them to wrap it up. Like, all right, let's go. Give me the hit. And like, my God, bro, 6 hours, 5.5 hours, 5 hours of wrestling. I can't even imagine, bro.
Oh my gosh. No, I do a daily wrestling show too. And like when we have to preview the pay-per-views, we're like, how many matches? And we're like, holy crap, there's like 13 on the card. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. That's insane, bro. That's insane, man.
Well, who's really stood out to you so far in JCW? What are some talents that really you think have a good deal of potential that you could see?
Oh, bro, there's so many great talents, and they're all creations of Violent J. This was handed over to me. Bro, you got the Outbreak, who identify as zombies, and their manager Barnabas, and these guys are unbelievable. You've got the Brothers of Funstruction that are 2 clowns, and they're unbelievable. Then you got, Kerry Morton, bro, is just absolutely phenomenal. We got a character by the name of Cocaine. I mean, bro, I love the crew. Jasmine St. Clair is there, and Jasmine is a pro. Jasmine is a pro. Jasmine is a legitimate freaking actress. It's so great to have her. She's got her Monster Corporation. And again, bro, these were all brainchilds of Violent J. And for him to just hand this over to me, it literally is like a kid in a candy store. I mean, because he has created just some great characters, man.
How much collaboration goes with you writing behind the scenes? Do you interact with Jay a lot? And then is there other people kind of involved too with the whole process?
Not really, bro. I've been writing the shows and then I send them to Jay.
Oh,
And then, if there's something Jay doesn't like, or if there's something Jay doesn't understand, or if there's something Jay would like added, he'll tell me, and him and I will have a conversation. But, he's pretty much let me do what I've wanted to do. And that's why I'm trying to, explain to Jay, brother, as long as the numbers are going up, like, just please let me go. If all of a sudden we see an issue, then maybe things need to be addressed. But as long as it's going like it's going, man, let's just ride this thing.
Yeah, why the heck not? And especially too, it's just already it's gotten more eyes on it, and like if you can keep that momentum rolling, if things are cooking well, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
How about overall? Like, you've had such a long, vast career in the wrestling world, and you've met so many talents. I hear from so many people too that there's that pretty big misconception of like you're so polarizing, but there's so many names that like you too. Like obviously, we're both friends with Nash and Road Dogg. We both worked with before. Is there somebody in the business that you've gone over your career that has you've been like, man, they just did not get the right opportunity, they did not get the right position? Anybody criminally underutilized in your
bro? Not really, because I mean, for the most part, I was able to do what I wanted. You know what I mean? I mean, there are guys now that the WWE has clearly effed up on. I could tell you that right now. I mean, Bray Wyatt, for starters, Killer Cross, Elijah, the way they're booking Drew McIntyre. I can go on and on and on. But during my time there, I can't really think of somebody that I really, really think we should have pushed more, and we really didn't. Because, bro, everybody had a role on TV. I mean, that's just the way I wrote. If you were on the roster, I was going to figure out a way to get you on TV. And if the guys and the gals are on TV, bro, they're happy. It's when they're not a part of things that they're not happy, and they kind of feel isolated. So, the idea, bro, is to just keep everybody as happy as possible.
Yeah, that's the key element of it all. And like in a lot of ways, wrestlers, they are athletic, but they're also creative minds in themselves. And so you want to play into that and help them out, because if you're just confined to a cubicle, you're not going anywhere. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
I am there to help them, bro. I am there to assist them. I am there to bring them to the next level. That's what I'm there for.
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk a little baseball. What do you think of the current state of the game? There's been so many changes. It's sped up the game a little bit, but the style and how it's played has certainly changed too over the course of the past several years. So what do you kind of think of the state of baseball right now?
Yeah, bro, it's funny because, because of the presentation of professional wrestling in the last 20 years, I can clearly tell you I stopped being a fan. That's simple. I mean, my God, bro, I was watching just this morning. I was on YouTube, and freaking Lou Albano came across my feed, and I'm like, oh my, like, what happened, bro? We went from Lou Albano to Sami Zayn. Like really, bro, that's where you went. I'm not a fan. I never stopped being a fan of baseball. And I'll tell you why, bro. I'll tell you why. Baseball has instituted rules to try to make the game better. But they did not F with the very foundation of the game. The foundation of the game has not changed. Wrestling has changed the foundation of a game. Wrestling should be a perfect triangle, bro. Here's the triangle. You got your intriguing characters. You put those intriguing characters into an intriguing storyline, and those characters in that storyline tell the story in a match in the ring. That's the perfect triangle. You don't have any of that. That's the foundation in wrestling. Like baseball would be, okay, bro, there's 3 bases and there's a fence that you got to hit the ball over. The fundamentals have not changed. Right. And, like I said, they try to make improvements, and that's cool with me. But wrestling, they changed the very, very foundation of what pro wrestling used to be. And like I said, bro, that's why the casual fans have left.
Yeah, it's such a weird situation overall too, when you think of how the media landscape too has shifted so much and how people consume it. Obviously, like, what we're doing streaming here, and then this will be on YouTube, and then people consume podcasts, but their minds are so quick. And
Yeah,
I think
but as a challenge, as a writer and a creator, it's challenging because you got to hook them right away, bro. And you got to hook them right away, and you can't waste any time, and you can't mamby-pamby around. You got to get in there, and you got to hook them immediately. So, bro, I'm the same way, bro. When bro, like most of my TV watching is freaking YouTube.
Yeah, me too.
The first thing I'm looking at is the length. That's the first thing, bro. If you're over 30 minutes, forget. I'm not even checking you out if you're over 30 minutes. So but being a creator, that's a challenge, man. And you gotta hook them and keep them there. And I thrive on that stuff, man. It's like I want to write a show that is going to make people watch it and not change the channel. That's a challenge for me.
Yeah. A mutual friend, Sean Oliver, wanted me to ask you about the Jesus twins. Are they going to be good?
Bro, I swear to God that, bro, when I was doing the Attitude Era, Howard Stern was hotter than anything. And my God, bro, you talk about characters, back in the, mid, late 90s, the characters that came out of that show were incredible, and the Jesus twins were at the top of that list.
I know my buddy, he's a big Howard Stern fan, and he always talks about the whole cast of characters that he had going.
I mean, not anymore, unfortunately.
Right, no,
unfortunately, now it's an absolute joke. It's kind of like what the WWE was with the Attitude Era and where it is now. Freaking Stern is a mirror of the same exact thing.
Oh, well, you know what? I wanted to ask you this too. I thought this was a pretty cool question there to ask you. You said, what would you have been doing if you didn't get into wrestling? Because like you were part of the video store and obviously that genre, you said you'd probably have gone out to Hollywood and done something like that. Is there a particular focus that you might have taken that you would have loved to write about? And do you think you would have been able to survive out somewhere in an aspect like LA, the hustle?
Yeah, first of all, bro, let me say this. I mean, I would have done the video store forever. Yeah. I loved that. I loved it. I loved it. But here came Blockbuster and it was over. I mean, it was that simple. Yeah, bro, I would have just wrote till I got something. And whatever that would have been, I would have embraced. But I do believe I would have been successful, bro, just based on work ethic alone. That's the thing, bro. Like, you could say whatever you want. Oh, you love my stuff, you hated my stuff, blah, blah. I could tell you this right now. In the freaking history of the entire business, there is nobody that worked as hard as I did on my craft. Triple H, literally, when I watched that show, my God, bro, if he puts in 1/1000th of what I put in, it would be a lot. I literally, bro, I swear to God, if you remember One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson, and at the end of the movie, they gave him a lobotomy. I swear to God, bro, you literally could take my brain out of my head and I will write a better show than Triple H. I mean, the effort that goes into that show it's a joke, bro. It's an absolute joke. And real wrestling fans, screw the marks. Real wrestling fans, they deserve better.
How much do you think, though, is the aspect of being in that whole shareholder kind of corporate structure that maybe potentially limits some, like, maybe creative stuff that Triple H can implement and certain things
he's not capable of implementing shit, bro. The guy's not a writer. Okay, bro, just because you're a 20-time world champion doesn't make you a writer. He's not a writer. Dom, because first of all, forget all those crazy things. Take all those crazy things out of the mix. You got to know how to format a show. You got to have a beginning, a middle, an end, and you got to thread that throughout the show. The show's got to end in a cliffhanger. So forget about all those controversial things. Learn how to write a show first. How many times, Dom, have we seen them use the biggest star on the roster in the first segment, and then we don't see them again? That's horrible writing. That's got nothing to do with, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. That is horrible writing. That means I don't have anything for Brock. I don't have anything for Roman. I don't have anything for Cena. So they're going to come out in the first segment and we're never going to see them again. Bro, can you imagine what the Attitude Era would have been like if you would have seen Mr. McMahon and Stone Cold in the first segment and then never seen them again? Can you imagine what that would have looked like?
I think about it because I remember the excitement too. I think it was after King of the Ring 98 or something when Austin lost the title, I think, to Kane. And then you didn't hear about Austin through the whole night or something like that. And it was like a whole buildup. Is Austin going to be here or something like I remember. I don't know if it was necessarily that instance, but I do remember just building throughout the course of time and being like, oh, man, I can't. Okay, I got to watch when Austin's going to show up. What the hell is going to happen? So.
I mean, every LCW, I'm sorry, JCW, Juggalo Champion, every show ends in a cliffhanger. Every freaking show. How does every Raw show end? It ends with a period at the end of the sentence. Okay, then why am I watching next week? Every single show with JCW ends in a cliffhanger. You've got to tune in the next week to see what happens.
Yeah, well, you guys can tune in. Is it every Thursday, Vince? Is that when
Thursday night? Yep, Thursday night. We have a brand new episode. Just go to a JCW Lunacy on YouTube. And here's another thing, Dom. During the live showing at 7:00 Eastern, I'm always in the chat room.
Oh, nice.
I watch along with everybody else. You guys can talk to me. I could answer questions. I can explain things. So I am in that chat room every Thursday night at 7:00 Eastern.
Well, fans take advantage of it. I can speak for myself too. I thought it's such an intriguing, well-placed story aspect of it all, but the aesthetic is really cool. The commentary is super funny. There's a lot of different elements going into play with it, and I think you will be it's a different flavor on ice cream for sure than what you're used to seeing on regular pro wrestling television. So, Vince, thank you for taking the time to do this, man. I sincerely appreciate it, and this quick turnaround too. I just texted you yesterday. You're like, "How about tomorrow?"
Yeah, no, bro. Because sometimes I do my Monday work on Sunday to free me up on Monday. Sometimes I don't, but I actually did my Monday work on Sunday, so I was available this morning, bro.
Well, I really appreciate it. And all the best to you. God bless you, and thank you for taking the time.
You too, man. Thank you, and good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.